According to The Hill, President Trump on Thursday suggested CBS News' 60 Minutes be taken off the air after the program released a transcript of an interview it aired last fall with former Vice President Harris amid a federal investigation into the broadcast. Trump wrote on his Truth Social website, CBS and 60 Minutes defrauded the public by doing something which has never to this extent been seen before. They 100% removed Kamala's horrible election-changing answers to questions and replaced them with completely different and far better answers taken from another part of the interview. Trump and his allies have for months argued the outlet edited the interview with Harris to cast her in a more positive light. And just a reminder that the last 4 years CBS has taken the Fox Light approach to journalism since they hired insurrectionist traitor Mick Mulvaney in 2021. This is just another stunt in Trump's ego-driven fascist rewriting history and assault on the free press. He has already forced ABC to pay $15 million and apologize for fact-checking his lie about migrants in Springfield, Ohio eating stolen pets. Then the billionaire sued pollster Ann Seltzer and the Des Moines Register and its parent company Gannett over a pre-election poll that wrongly come election day saw him behind in the state. It's Nazi o'clock. Time to woke up.
The following moments may contain explicit language. Viewer discretion is advised.
Per Project 2025, the plan to purge federal employees to be replaced with loyalists is in full swing. According to CBS News, more than 2 million federal employees face a looming deadline. By midnight Eastern Time on Thursday, they must decide whether to accept a deferred resignation offer from the Trump cabal. And if workers accept, according to White House plan, they would continue getting paid through September, but would be excused from reporting for duty. But if they opt to keep their jobs, they could get fired. That decision, one affecting the careers and livelihoods of Americans around the U.S., is fraught, employment attorneys and government watchdogs said. The offer from the Office of Personnel Management, OPM, includes a number of provisions that are unclear and not guaranteed, posing financial and professional risks while leaving workers in danger of not getting what they signed up for, experts told CBS Money Watch. OPM's offer includes many gray areas that could present pitfalls to employees who accept it. The agency's email lacks specifics and guarantees about the offer, adding to government workers' confusion. Doreen Greenwald, president of the National Treasury Employees Union, told CBS Money Watch. Federal workers received the Trump cabal's offer in an email last month entitled "A Fork in the Road," mirroring the subject line of a 2022 message sent by billionaire Elon Musk to employees at Twitter, the social media platform he bought in October 2022 and later renamed X. Musk is spearheading the White House Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, a non-governmental task force tasked by President Trump with slashing federal costs. The Tesla CEO has touted the government's deferred resignation offer on X, claiming that employees who accept it can do whatever you like, including obtaining a new job while receiving government pay and benefits through September. According to Reuters, federal worker unions urged their members not to take the offers and said they may not be legal despite administration cabal assurances. The union sued to block the offer with a court hearing scheduled for 1 p.m. Eastern Time on Thursday. At least 40,000 employees have taken the deal so far, according to a White House source, about 2% of the government's 2.3 million civilian workforce. The biggest target of Musk's overhaul so far has been USAID, the agency that distributes nearly $50 billion in foreign aid annually. Its headquarters have been closed to staff who were told this week they will be put on administrative leave as of Friday. The agency employed 4,675 people as of last March, including 1,450 overseas. Trump said on Tuesday that he also wants to shutter the Department of Education, which employs 4,245 people. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, which manage the country's two largest health programs, said it is also working with Musk's effort. The Wall Street Journal reported that Musk aides had gotten access to key payment and contracting systems. Trump's fellow Republicans, who control both chambers of Congress, have cheered the overhaul and have shown no interest in stopping it. Labor unions that represent federal employees have sued to block Trump's buyout offer, which claims to pay workers until September 30th, saying his administration lacks legal authority and can't guarantee it will be funded. According to the BBC, the White House, which previously said it expected as many as 200,000 people to accept, told U.S. media that they expect a spike in participation in the next 24 hours. The resignation scheme's announcement, delivered in the form of a late-night email, is part of an ongoing effort by the Trump cabal to slash the size of federal bureaucracy and cut spending. On Tuesday, the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, became the first national security arm to extend its offer to its staff, telling its entire workforce they could quit and receive about 8 months of pay and benefits. But it was not immediately clear who could accept the offer. Some areas of expertise may be restricted, CNN reporting, citing a familiar source. Newly appointed CIA Director John Ratcliffe personally decided he wanted the spy agency to be involved in the resignation program, the source told CNN. The CIA is also freezing the hire of those already given a conditional offer, the Wall Street Journal reported, citing an aide to Ratcliffe. This is not meritocracy. It has nothing to do with DEI or affirmative action or getting the good people. It's a huge part of Project 2025, and it's nefarious AF. The cabal is filling non-political positions with political loyalists that will follow the president's will blindly and sabotage the will of the people if it isn't in line. And they will turn a blind eye to corruption as long as it's their corruption. They've created a two-tier system of justice where laws are for liberals exclusively. This is just more crooked fucking bullshit from Nazi fascist traitors. You know, billionaires think you're stupid. Stop proving them right. After the backlash to the president announcing he could potentially use U.S. troops to own Gaza, he clarified today that the plan would be for Israel to turn it over to us after they ethnically cleanse the region of its 2 million inhabitants. According to Reuters, U.S. President Dipshit Von Schitz's Pants said on Thursday that Israel would hand over Gaza to the United States after fighting was over and the enclave's population was already resettled elsewhere, which he said meant no U.S. troops would be needed on the ground. A day after worldwide condemnation of Trump's announcement that he aimed to take over and develop the Gaza Strip into the Riviera of the Middle East, Israel ordered its army to prepare to allow the voluntary departure of Gaza's residents. Trump, who had previously declined to rule out deploying U.S. troops to Gaza, clarified his plans in comments on his Truth Social web platform. Regional heavyweight Saudi Arabia rejected the proposal outright, and Jordan's King Abdullah, who will meet with Trump at the White House next week, said on Wednesday he rejected any attempts to annex land and displace Palestinians. Displacement of Palestinians has been one of the most sensitive issues in the Middle East for decades. Forced or coerced displacement of a population under military occupation is a war crime, banned under the 1949 Geneva Conventions. According to CNN, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has backed the U.S. President proposal to take over Gaza, as Israel's army was ordered to prepare plans for large numbers of Palestinians to leave the territory. Netanyahu insisted the plan, which Trump said would involve sending Gaza's residents to neighboring countries and taking long-term ownership of the enclave, was a remarkable idea. Trump announced his proposal in a joint news conference at the White House with Netanyahu on Tuesday, setting off a maelstrom of criticism from rights groups who say the plan's implementation would break international law and would amount to ethnic cleansing in Gaza. Much of Gaza has been obliterated by 15 months of Israeli bombardment following Hamas October 7, 2023 attacks. The proposal raises the question of whether Palestinians could forcibly be removed from their home and breaks with decades of U.S. foreign policy, which has long emphasized a two-state solution for Israel and Palestine. White House officials have attempted to walk back many of the details after critics pointed out that Trump's plan could set U.S. troops once again in the heart of a war in the Middle East. On Thursday, Trump returned to the idea, writing on his Truth Social network, that Gaza would be turned over to the United States by Israel at the conclusion of fighting in the territory and that no U.S. soldiers would be needed. He gave no further details on how the plan would work. Defense Minister Israel Katz directed the Israel Defense Force, IDF, to prepare a plan to enable the voluntary departure of Gaza residents. I welcome the bold initiative of U.S. President Trump, which could allow a large portion of Gaza's population to relocate to various destinations worldwide, everywhere except Israel, according to the Defense Ministry statement. There are about 6 million Palestinian refugees worldwide. 6 million, that sounds familiar? Most of them descendants of people who fled with the creation of Israel in 1948. Approximately 90% of Gaza residents were displaced in the latest war, and many have been forced to move repeatedly, some more than 10 times, according to the UN. This is wrong. This is very, very wrong. In just 3 very long weeks, Trump has changed our standing in the world as a force of good to the axis of evil. Break out your black cowboy hats, because we're the bad guys now. Even when George W. Bush lied and manipulated us into 2 forever wars in the Middle East so he could profit, he still never cut off humanitarian aid to the rest of the world. Granted, he made it contingent on their willingness to ban abortions, but at least he gave them the opportunity to comply. So in reality, the plan to make America great again is to dismantle every federal agency set up to protect the average American, be it the EPA, Department of Education, the FAA, FBI, CIA, and allow the richest man in the world to loot our treasury with impunity, set up concentration camps in Cuba and El Salvador, and threaten Greenland, Panama, Canada, and Gaza with military annexation. This is what you voted for. According to the Associated Press, a group that played a key role in Donald Trump's voter outreach to the Arab American community alongside his allies is rebranding itself after the president said that the U.S. would take over the Gaza Strip. Bashar Baba, chairman of the group formerly known as Arab Americans for Trump, said during a phone interview with the Associated Press on Wednesday that the group would now be called Arab Americans for Peace. It's tough shit now, ain't it? Unfortunately, they're still traitors because treason's unforgivable. So, thank you for watching. If you speak the truth, you're always right. Peace.